After Trump met with Puerto Rico's governor, Ricardo Rossello, in the Oval Office on Thursday, he spoke to reporters, and NewsPulse News asked, on a scale of 1 to 10, how he'd grade his handling of the hurricane. "I'd say it was a 10, Trump said. Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico on September 20. The storm was a Category 5, the top rating on the hurricane scale. Earlier last month, the island was damaged by Hurricane Irma. Currently, about 78% of Puerto Rico is without power and 28% of the island lacks reliable drinking water." After praising his response to the hurricane damage on Puerto Rico, Trump went on to marvel at the magnitude of the devastation. "I'd say it was probably the most difficult when you talk about relief, when you talk about search, when you talk about all of the different levels, and even when you talk about lives saved. If you look at the number, I mean I think, it was worse than Katrina. It was in many ways worse than anything people have ever seen," said Trump. Earlier this month, Trump said Puerto Rico didn't suffer a real catastrophe like Katrina. Speaking Thursday, Trump reiterated his high grade for the storm response after describing the strength of the hurricanes that hit the island. NewsPulse News also asked Rossello how he'd rate the White House's hurricane response on a scale of 1 to 10. Russell didn't offer a numerical grade. "The president has answered all of our petitions. This is still ongoing, so we expect that that'll continue," Rossello said, adding, "We set some very aggressive milestones to restore energy in Puerto Rico, about 30% of the energy by the end of the month, by the middle of next month about 50%, and so on." Trump then asked Rossello to gauge the White House's response. "Governor, I just want to maybe ask you a question," Trump said. "Did the United States, did our government, when we come in, did we do a great job? Military, first responders, FEMA, did we do a great job?" Rossello complimented the Trump administration's handling of the hurricane damage in Puerto Rico. Rossello went on to acknowledge, "We need to do a lot more. I think everyone over here recognizes there's a lot of work to be done in Puerto Rico. But with your leadership, sir, and with everybody over here, we are committed to achieving that in the long run," Rossello said. Puerto Rico's power grid was in bad condition prior to the storms, a fact which was repeatedly cited by both Trump and Rossello on Thursday. When Trump was asked how long it would take to restore full power to the island, he said it was a good question and would likely take a while. "We have to build a brand new plant, or we have to do essentially a renovation that's so large it's going to be like a brand new plant. One or the other, we're looking at both right now," said Trump. "But there's never been a case where power plants were gone. You can't just fix the poles. There's never been a place where power plants were gone, so it's going to be a period of time before the electric is restored."